elbow supination, isometric hold. Later in the video, we'll get to some HIMAs and for some reactive strength. So supination is just rotating, so my palm is up. So I'm just going to go to as far as I can, and then I'm going to get a stretch. Obviously, I've got an actual wrist axe thing here, but you can use anything, any kind of stick, a wooden stick, a broom handle, like anything that you can actually hold. If you don't have anything you can hold, you can even just use your hand to hold this. But considering you're doing it with a band, definitely try to get something. But rather than while you're doing this, rather than having your thumb wrapped around the opposite side of your fingers, wrap your thumb around the same side of your fingers as well. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using this to push up that way to get that stretch in the inside of your elbow, and having your thumb there aids in that. So all you're going to do is you're going to get into this stretch, and you're going to hold this for 2 minutes, but we're doing it with a band. So all I'm doing is I'm going to wrap the band around the end of that thing, and I hold this here, and then I can even use my other hand to pull the tension, and I'm done. And that's literally it. All we're doing is trying to get a stretch on the inside of your elbow. So there we go, there's mine. And I'm just going to hold this for 2 minutes, or whatever your program says. To start with, it'll probably be 2 minutes for sort of 30 to 40%. One thing that you'll note is when you first start, you probably won't be able to do 2 minutes at 30, 40%. You almost definitely won't, like you'll fatigue. So if that's the case, I just put this under my foot. If I'm doing this and I get to say 30 seconds and then I fatigue, I want to stay in the stretch but take the load off. So I'm just going to put my hand on here, take a little bit of a load off, have a rest for as long as you feel you need, 10, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever, and then just slowly let go, pop the load back into your elbow, and then you're just going to accumulate 2 minutes. So that's your 2 minutes. So you're just holding this at 30 to 40% for an accumulated time of 2 minutes. Trust me, this is going to be harder than it seems, and this is going to add up. It's going to seem easy to start with, and it will add up. Now, if you get to the point in your program where you're doing HIMAs and reactive strength stuff, we're basically going to do the same thing. We're going to do it for 2 minutes, but rather than holding that for that longer duration, you're going to be doing it for a much shorter sort of work to rest ratio. So you'll be doing a 3 second on, 1 second off, or 5 second on, or 1 second off, or something like that. So as an example, I'll get to here. I want to still only want like that 30, 40% to start with, but your program will say. So I'm going to hold here. So here I'm obviously working, and now I'm just going to hold this and have my rest, right? So obviously, because I'm using this hand, I do want the band under my foot. I'm sitting here because I'm comfortable doing this because I do jiu-jitsu and stuff. But if you're sitting on a chair, like, your foot's just on there, you just get the right amount of tension. It's pretty simple to set up. But what I'm going to do is I'll get the tension I want. So this is about 30 or 40% here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this for 1 second, and then I'm just going to let go. And then this is now going to take the load for 5 seconds. Hold this. I'm still holding that stretch, but taking some load out of with the other hand, and then 5 seconds. When you first start this, you'll be doing this with a ramp up time of about 1 second. So what that means is here I've got 100% intensity, or not 100% intensity, but I'm taking the load at that 30 to 40%. Now I'm taking it off. So rather than just sort of letting go quickly, that would be no ramp up time. I'm just going to let go over the space of 1 second. That'll last for 5 seconds. Take that for 1 second, and then slowly let go, or quickly let go over the space of a second. What we're doing is we're teaching this tissue to be able to absorb force in a second. As you progress, what will happen is that second will become no time. So as an example, I take the load off and then let go quickly. Hold this for 5 seconds, go for 1, off quickly, there you go. Obviously your program will tell you exactly what work to work rest ratio that you're doing. It'll also tell you how much of a ramp up time that you've got. Enjoy your elbows.